Hi, everybody. Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well. If new, Andy, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe, all that good stuff. Firstly, just off the bat, thank you for the messages, personal messages, and on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and things like that, as well as sort of commenting on the video about my blood flesh yesterday. Yeah, appreciate everyone. We appreciate every piece of comment, every piece of feedback. Anyway, so thank you so much for everyone. So another day, another player profile, player transfer profile. Is that the best way to describe it? But I want to talk about this man. I want to talk about Duje Caleta-Car in a bit more detail. There were reports have come out that we're back in for him. Apparently, whether it's a loan deal or Marseille wanting 17 million quid for him, as we've done with DCL and as we did with, my brain's gone for yesterday, Brozier. We thought we'd do a little bit of a player profile. People have asked me for more information about Duje, and we're going to give you it. We've also been working with West Ham WHU Analytics, who's written a really good article, which I'll link to. Actually, I'll link to it now, so we've got that. I'll link that in there. So don't read it now, but you can read it afterwards, and I'll link it at the end. So thanks to WHUF Analytics as well for giving me some good stats and figures. Let's have a quick look in the chat, see how everyone is. Good afternoon to Father Snowman. Gaz is in the house. I'm very well. Hope you're well. No internet for an hour. Oh dear. At least you're not in Tonga. Is it Tonga? I was reading they had the earthquake, no, the volcano, and their internet cable's gone. So they've had to use a satellite in Tonga at the moment. Crazy. I bet we get one loan deal and bugger all else. There we go. Crazies with. Crazies there with all the latest news for us. We'll see what happens. Obviously, we're going to be doing quite a long show on Monday, like a stream with a few guests and stuff, maybe some ex-players. So make sure you check that out. James Farmer, I hope you're well. Russ and the Tomb review last night, and DC was on the subject. Seems that money doesn't buy survival. Players don't want a relegation battle. Indeed, supposing apparently we have for the Rem striker, the young 19-year-old. But we'll probably talk about that maybe tomorrow. Afternoon, Anton, good to see you, my friend. Please reach out to us, Alex, as well on the West Ham Network at gmail.com. We'll have a chat about that. Frano, we're very well. Obviously, it was Burns night yesterday, Anton. Burns night. Hope he had his nips and tatties. Black Country, good afternoon to you. It's a fast because if he isn't, I don't want a younger version of Craig Dawson. We'll talk about it in a minute. Good evening, Grant. Good afternoon. 17 minutes sounds like a bargain. You certainly does. Ludders, good afternoon to you. Oh dear, everyone's in the chat. Let's just go through anyone else who I haven't said hello to yet. Victor, good afternoon. Getting a hairline, like stressing about income. Preaching to the converted, mate. James, hope you're well. Rob, hope you're well. Oh dear, Luke, hope you're well. Thanks for your message yesterday, Luke. Russ, ain't no doubt. GSP, bus driving ninja. Hopefully not texting while doing it. Hope you're well. Right, let's talk about Duje Caleta-Car. Let's talk about him. 25-year-old, 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", 1.92 in sort of new language. As I said, there's apparently we've offered a loan deal for him, and they want a money deal. They have, and we'll talk about that as well, because potentially it could be a double deal. It could be a double deal because apparently we've put a bid in for Dieng, Bamba Dieng, 8 million quid. So it could be a duo Marseille deal. Who knows? Apparently reports are that Duje has been talking to West Ham's own current Croatian player, Nikola Vlasic, about West Ham as well. And Marseille are looking to get rid of. They brought in Makubu from La Liga. And so they're looking to balance the books quite a bit. So it's a bit, not a fire sale, but there is a bit of money they're needing to balance the books. In the same way we looked at, we've looked at, things like Calvert-Lewin, Everton they need to slash their wage bill. So, there was some, you could see, put two and two together there. So there was, potential here as well. Double bubble. Indeed, double bubble indeed. So we'll see. Sorry, pardon, I was coughing at the same time. So let's go into it and talk about a bit more Duje in more just to give you an idea of who the person is. So let's go full screen. It's a lovely picture of Duje as a young lad. He's basically another product of the Red Bull model, which the much maligned Red Bull model, which we've been speaking about for many months and since Moyes has come in terms of what he wants to promote. He was originally, and this is from his HNK Savensky Academy in Croatia. He was poached very quickly by FC Leeuwenring, who are the feeder club to RB Salzburg. And at the age of 20, his stock within the sort of the Red Bull group rose quite quickly. He only lasted 1 year at Leeuwenring before being deemed good enough for the step up to RB Salzburg. After winning 3 consecutively titles in Austria, Marseille came in with a big money offer that would make of £17.1 million, which basically made Caleta-Car Salzburg third biggest sale of all time, behind 2 other people you may have heard of. No, not him. They bought him, Sadio Mane and Naby Keita. So obviously he signed, and he signed for Marseille. Started slowly, but he did eventually get himself into the first team, despite obviously them paying 17 million quid up front from stat-wise. And that's, let me take out the logo, because I think this is what everyone wants to know. I want to know the stats. It's nice to know about the player, but let's talk about the stats. His passing is hugely impressive. That's his main takeaway of what he does. His pass completion rate is, over the last 18 months, is 91%, 91.2 for those who are very precise. And that's a couple of percent higher than Ogbonna, for example, if we're comparing, that sort of left-sided player to another left-sided player. He's also attempted considerably more passes than Ogbonna, almost 60 passes a game compared to 36 for Ogbonna. So again, twice as many passes plus a higher pass completion rate. And indeed, this season, he's been averaging 75 passes per 90. So he's getting a lot more of the ball. Even more valuably, when you look down at the other ones, the other sort of stats there, particularly in context of West Ham's defence, where we struggle to have, at the moment, particularly with Dawson and Diop, it's more of a lump it, or just the simple ball back, or the simple, sort of more progressive, which I think we've lost when we've had not Zuma or Ogbonna in the side. This is where Caleta-Car's stock rises considerably. He's basically a forward-thinking defender. Let's just go through some of the 23 forward passes in 90 minutes on average, which is double Ogbonna's. Ogbonna tends to go for the straight left pass to Cresswell, but he's looking much more forward in advance. He's, what we got here, 82%. We've got 83% rather long pass, forward passing completion rate, 82% progressive passing, 60% long ball as well, which is useful when we sort of he wants to lump it up to Antonio. And to put that into context in terms of sort of progressive passing, he averages 7 point. Let's get bigger. It's quite interesting. He averages 7.4 long passes a game. Progressive passes a game. Ogbonna averaged 4.2. Dawson 3.3, 3.4 for Zuma, and 3.2 for Diop. So you can see why he's been on the radar for some time. Clearly he'll bring, that sort of, that's bit we're missing in terms of solving our recent struggles playing at the back, which is obviously huge, particularly for this sort of type of game that Moyes is playing. Also, although he does play on the left-hand side of defence, but he's not predominantly left-footed. He's more right-footed, but he's one of these sort of more ambidextrous players. So although he's predominantly, he is right-footed, he does play very well off his left foot as well. And so obviously that's really useful when you're playing at the back, and that's why he can play at the back so readily, to be fair. And, apparently his trademark pass is the outside of the right boot. Love him. Just curling into the left wing. No, it sounds lovely. And also he takes the ball forward quite a bit. If it's not on, he can take it forward a bit as well, which is good. Obviously, being 6'3", 6'4", the aerial battles, the aerial defense. That's where he comes into his own as well, and he excels in sort of aerial ability. What we got here, 69%, we'll round it up, 69% success rate in aerial duels across the last 18 months. Only, in terms of comparison, Zuma has 70%. And he's the best of the West Ham bunch. So them together as a pair, nothing getting in those crosses, are they? Because they're both roughly the same age as well. This could be a partnership which could develop potentially for many, many years. There is one negative. I always bring you negative. I try and do a balanced opinion. The negative is he's not a tackler, if that makes sense. There's some defenders who like to put a tackle in. He doesn't not that often put a tackle in. He tends to stand off. A bit like Zuma, really. Zuma doesn't really put the tackles in. I think that's why when you see Zuma play with Dawson and Diop, they play better than Diop and Dawson together, because Zuma's obviously almost like mops everything up, whereas Dawson likes to get in for a tackle, and even Diop tracks the ball, and sometimes, particularly when they've both been playing, he's almost like ball watched a little bit. He's gone to the ball in terms of Diop, which means there's space for a running defender. Zuma's like hangs off a little bit, doesn't press, things like that, and actually DCC is the same as him. So I was saying that this season he's doing a lot more tackling this season for some reason, so that may be something to bear in mind. To be honest, Ogbonna isn't a massive tackler either, and DCC's tackling rates are higher than Ogbonna's anyway. So it's something. It's an air of caution. Let's be honest. It's just something just to mention to them. He's made 130 appearances for RB Salzburg, 4 goals, 106 currently for Marseille, 4 goals, and obviously he's a Croatian international, a full international, 20 appearances so far, 1 goal. Played obviously a lot of the Euros in terms of Euro 2020s, but he's made under 19s, 18s, 17s, under 21s, plenty of appearances. Right, let's have a quick look and see what people think. Do the funky Gibbon. There we go. He's got the name already. I'm so happy if he comes as a beast alongside. Well, exactly. And I think that them as a 2 would be special. Make it a triple deal and get Pyatt back. Who haven't we made a bid for? Well, if reports are meant to be believed, and we just provide the reports, Rob, as you know. Apparently, we've approached Marseille with the view of a loan deal for DCC. He doesn't buy what's. I can't remember. Farmer Snowman said in the chat, he's not up for going to Newcastle. Funny enough, so we'll see. Move over Souček. Agent Vlasic is on the case indeed. Mavadini, yes, he is. And what we do, maybe tomorrow night, we'll do some stuff do the transfer roundup. Maybe tomorrow night. Actually, what we've got here tonight, we've finally got him on. He's coming on tonight. I've got the confirmation from him literally 10 minutes ago. Governor B's coming on tonight. So we'll be talking, we'll talk about Isla, of course. We'll talk about the single. We'll talk about why he's a West Ham fan, my MS11, ask him some questions. Top bloke. We'll ask his thoughts about transfers and things like that. He knows his stuff. He's a really nice bloke. So I'm looking forward to talking to him tonight. They have had talks apparently about, exactly that's what we're saying. Triple sign for him, the striker in the centre, defensive midfield. In terms of Boubacar Kamara, could be. Who knows? Could you imagine just doing all business with one job, one club? Newcastle has agreed a fee for Bruno Guerras from Lyon, 30 million. Well, apparently Lingard that's all fallen by the wayside. Sky Sports reported. I take Caleta-Car, 17 million, throw in half. Well, I was reading today on Claret and Hugh that 1 in, 1 out. We get Caleta-Car in, or we get a central defender in. Diop's going. That's what I've heard. That's what he said on the website on the Claret and Hugh today. So who knows? Yes, I totally agree. What's up with Luke? Was that not have a house of COVID? Oh God, hope you're feeling better, mate. What we got here is a midfielder, so I reckon so. That's bloody amazing for a defense. It is, mate, isn't it? It's great stats. I'm hearing Helen could still have talks about it. Well, I've heard that's been the talks have been basically broken down, but that's all. That's what Sky Sports reported. So having a ball playing could improve. It certainly could. That's how we get some deals over the line. Let's hope so. Otherwise, we will have nothing to talk about on Monday. Me and Anton, and stars and guests. I don't think he's convinced by Caleta-Car. Why not pay the 17 million? Maybe, but we're loving this. Everyone loves a loan to buy now, doesn't it? Everyone loves a loan to buy. I was reading today that they reckon it's 25 million quid that Southampton might bid for Brozier to make his deal permanently. And then I read an article straight after that saying they're not going to bid at 25 million. So we'll see. Trusting Moyes, even with playing left, we failed to bring the ball out of defence. I totally agree. That's why I think we need two people who can do that. Bargains to be had in the French league. The execute. Yep. Reality is we need to raid the market. We are, James, and that's why it seems, particularly with. We talk about Mavladini. We've spoken about the Etiquette from Rem. We've got 3 people from Marseille we've been interested in. PSG as well. We've had Dalilo, Dario, and Kazawa from PSG. There's a lot there. I don't believe our contender. Why would Lingard aim low? He's almost 30. Well, I think in terms of Lingard, it's 2 transfers I see. One is the loan signing, and one is the permanent signing. So the loan signing, I could see him going to Newcastle on loan. I could see that happening. And then the permanent signing, that's either going to be in the summer for a free transfer, which I think will be us, or we buy him now as a permanent. That's the only way Man U are going to do us a deal. Are going to deal with us. I think it's a permanent signing for Jesse Lingard. You see, Burnley are quoted as 30 million quid for Tarkowski, who's got 6 months left in his contract. So no. Why would we do that when we can wait 6 months for him? So I think I'm seeing alternatives. I still think Tarkowski may come in the summer on a free transfer. I think we'll see a few of them. You just described him as Roberto Carlos, who plays at centre. Oh, we'll have him. I love Roberto Carlos. Met him once in Dubai. Him and Neymar. Just saying. I'll tell the story one day. A lot of French club sneaker. I'm being delusional. All we're doing is we're signing it. I'm just giving you just the information. That's all we do, Epic. You can take with it what you want. You can draw your own conclusions, but we'll just pull the stuff together for you guys. We give you all the information you need, all the reports, all the rumors, and so you don't have to do it. We're just doing the work for you, Epic. And as I said, definitely go and check out West Ham Analytics. Go and check out West Ham Analytics article. It's really good. It goes into a lot more detail. Goes through their sort of understanding and their ratings as well. It's very, very good. Newcastle 2 years minimum from European. Totally agree. If you want to hit it, give it a cheeky like if you fancy it. If not, not saying we bring him in, but saying if they will indeed fit the system, looks the package. I think he does. Come on, boys. How about all the 5-star players that's all filling out the squad? I suppose so. It's like having a striker you want to shoot. Indeed. Well, I think now defenders aren't necessarily defenders first. It's not necessarily. I wouldn't say. I mean, Zuma's a solid player, but I wouldn't say he's a great tackler. He doesn't tackle players. But he reads the game and he's in the right position. It's a. I've spoken. We remember we had Ray Stewart on and various others, and the position of fullback is very different than he was. George McCartney, people like that. They said, it's not necessarily about being a defender. It's about the progressive play, how you start plays off from the back, sort of total football. And it's an important thing to look at, particularly. I think that's also been one of the issues why we've struggled with Diop and Dawson as a duo in the middle. Obviously, one and Zuma, that gives you a little bit more progressiveness. But that's just my opinion. Go for it. We've had worse, indeed. What's Duje got that Phil Jones ain't? Indeed. As a Croatian fella, I could say Duje is a great baller and a big great addition. However, his temper brought him back some problems in the early years. If he can sort that out, he's in. But I think he's, as I said, he struggled at the beginning, didn't he? Because he had Rami and Rolando in front of him, and eventually they moved, and he took that spot. The only thing with DCC is if they play a back 3, he doesn't usually play. He doesn't usually start. So he doesn't get picked for a back 3, but for when they're playing a back 4, he does play. There we go. Sign they have switched directives. Oh. Very frugal with the price of electricity. Definitely, I wouldn't sell. I'd load him out. You'll see. Next best thing would be Zuma back in coming in. I totally agree. Wolves signed someone to take. Was it the winger? Was it the little winger? They were looking at, because if that, then that's the domino effect, which means Troy will be sold. I think we'll sign Nat Phillips. He's left foot and happy for him to loan him. Apparently, he's told Liverpool he wants to leave as well. So we'll see that. How is about when he's 29 in December? Well, he's It's like my wife. My wife says, "Oh, I'm 43." Or, no, you're not. You're 42. You haven't turned your birthday yet. That's what people say. But he will be. We'll sign him in August, in July maybe. So he comes in the summer, and he'll be on the way. To 30, won't he? Good point, Kaza. Knowing our luck will turn to excess like Haller. Well, good luck to him if he does. If we get a couple of loans to buy one that week and the amount of the transfer key for the summer, I think we're doing a lot of free. There'll be a lot of free activity in the summer, I reckon. Most of the window is who is free in 6 months that we miss out on. Indeed. Right, let's go for a few. Who else have we failed to sign? Indeed. Just a text. I'm currently 12 in line for the Watford job. Good luck. I was listening to Talk Sport and they were talking about that. Very funny. And Simon Jordan's like, it's the perfect appointment is Roy Hodgson. He's there for 8 months and then he can fuck off basically and go into the wilderness. That's totally right. I heard he's given 3 months rolling contract in case he begins to lose his memory. Oh, bless him. Well done. I'm 11th. That's good to know. It's good to know. Roy Hodgson says he wants to marry to his 90. God. Is Nat Phillips? Yeah, he's left-footed. Patrick. And there has been talk of him today saying he wants to leave Liverpool. He's looking to leave. Whether it's on loan or whether it's a permanent, I do not know. But that is what has been reported today. I think there's going to be some, I think there's going to be lots of, I can see lots of moving parts all over the place now, not just for West Ham, but for everyone. Lingard low move fell through as the Manx wanted a million game from Newcastle. A bonus if they stay up, even as a hammer. That's crazy. That is mental. Matt is tennis playing brother, indeed. Come on, Russ. Who are we most likely to sign before window closes? Oh, good question, Mandy. In my opinion, I honestly think Caleta-Car. I honestly, I wouldn't surprise me. Caleta-Car and Dieng, Bamba Dieng. I could see it both happening. Just because I think I honestly can't see Moyes spend, and this is just my opinion. Agree with it if you want. Tell me to F off if you want. It's up to you. I can't see him spending so much on an attacker because there's a real risk of that, particularly now. I think we'll get one, whether it is, I don't know whether Hlosek is in the background and it's not. If we don't get anyone else, we'll get him. But maybe that deal has been. I don't know. Maybe. But I think with someone like Bamba, I could see it. I mean, he's 8 million quid, 9 million quid, young, play left. He can play left. He can play up front. You can see where Moyes would be interested in potentially. But there's a load. There's a load. I'm doing the stuff from the transfer show tomorrow, and we've got Rada Thomas. We've got Nketiah's come back with Mavrodini. We spoke about him. There's new names all the time. There's some new defenders. Malik Thor, who I think is a fantastic player, very underrated, very young player. From Schalke, he could be an interesting defender. We go for Origi's come up again, as you said. I know someone's put in the chat. I mean, I reckon I'd like to get him, but whether it's a last minute, I just can't see Liverpool doing business with us for him. But then by the end of January, they'll know where everyone else is in terms of all the players in terms of that are coming back. So. We'll see. I take Phillips might. You take T Lady right now. Indeed, I see a big for Lingard and just we'll have to put in a transfer request, possibly. Origi's injured, according to Sky. Doesn't surprise me anyway. Jesus, do we need a striker? Where's Hayward? Oh, we love Marlon. Friend of the channel, Marlon Hayward. Top man. Busy. He's probably the busiest man in outside football. He's so busy. He's driving all the time with his AC13 car business. He is all over the place. So what do we think? Not necessarily do you think it'll happen, but as a player, what do you think? As I said, we've been through the stats. We've shown, we've got his aerial dual success rate. We've got his progressive passing, almost double, or it is over double some of the players we've got. And obviously Bono is the exception, but even that's still 3 more progressive passes per 90 minutes. And his pass completion, high pass completion, lots of, he takes it forward. he does seem the ticket. And it was funny because I was talking to Anton about him, about doing it. I said, we're going to do something about DCC. And Anton sent me a link to a video he did 7 months ago talking about DCC. And we're still talking about him. So, I mean, personally, if it's, I think he would be. I can see the loan to buy because Moyes is very risk adverse. Risk adverse, is that the right one? Yeah, but he's not, doesn't like to take risks on non-Premier League players, and he is a risk in that respect. We've seen it. He's played for Salzburg. He played in the Austrian league. He's played a little bit in the Croatian league, not much. He's played in the French league. There's no Premier League experience. Internationally, he is. I mean, to be honest, you can easily see him. He's strong enough to keep Harry Kane in his pocket, for example, or something like that. But I think it'd be interesting to see what you guys think. And that's why I can see the loan to buy being an option here. Because I think, almost West Ham are like, well, we don't know if he's going to do really well. Let's loan with an option to buy at the end of the loan spell. Whether Marseille will go for that, who knows? Maybe do a swap deal with Diop. Why not? Who knows? Might benefit everyone. What we got here? Every time we're supposed to be inquired about a player, it follows. But West Ham think the fee is too fee. We were offered Salah for a fiver. We'd say the same. We'll do it for $4.99. Always need to get a deal. There has been reports coming out that we've put multiple bids in for players. Some which are, club record beating bids, but they're being rejected. And I can take that on face value. Whether it's a smokescreen, who knows? But I say that's the news I've been given. It makes sense, and I can see why. I can see justifications why it's been. But there's definitely been. We know there's been activity and inquiries, but we don't know who. And I like that. And me and Anton were saying the other day, we love the fact that we don't know who necessarily going to buy until maybe it drops. And we all know, as I said, we did. I showed you the stat yesterday in terms of all of Moyes' sort of most of his January transfers. I think in terms of all his transfers within transfer windows, I think the most from the beginning of the chat is 6 days to the end. That's the earliest he's operated in. So it is around this time where you'll start seeing a lot more movement. I'm not seeing as many new names, but I'm seeing more stuff coming out about the same people. If that makes sense. At the beginning, it was like a scattergun, and I was doing 20 odd names. I reckon this week probably got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 8 and 9. And it seems a lot as well, but that's half of what we usually get. But we'll see. The boys, that's what we're led to believe. But I've heard that Moyes still likes him, so we don't know. We just don't know. Pat would take him. Of course you would, Pat. He looks like Harry Potter with a beard. Not sure his magic touch. Well, he's covering the scar of his hair. I'd love to have the option to be able to do that. Yeah, let's get him, Russ. Gaz has said it. We'll get him in. We're done. Gaz has said we'll get him. Sky Bet offering a huge 7-1. I'm joining us in this window. Yeah, because I think he might join us in the summer. I'll be honest. The trouble is we always let everyone know we're interested in a player, and boom. But we're not. We don't. I don't think as much, Steve. It's just a media report that because there's no news about it, because there's no leaks. So the news of having to make up and put. I've put 2 and 2 together. The fact is we got Bamba. As you said, we're interested in Bamba Dieng, Boubacar Kamara, Caleta-Car. That's 3 from the same club. Surely we can do a deal. They might do, they might not. Depends. As I said, if he comes in, letting Diop go immediately will be suicidal. That's what Clarence Hughes said today. I read, so I just wanted to report that to you. Cameron Rush, it's easy to defend against Kane. Just hold a piece of glass and it'll or some shiny foil. They've got a transfer embargo pending. Well, there we go. Spot on, James. Only one injury, then we're back to square one. We're in top 5. Surely someone wants to come to us. Well, I'm not saying that Caleta-Car doesn't want to come to us. Doesn't want to go to Newcastle by all accounts. So we'll see. Am I like everyone wants to scoop? No, scoop. Just letting you know about Caleta-Car, because obviously there's the reports yesterday and today that we're getting. We've offered a loan deal for him, a loan deal to buy. Apparently that's been rebuffed by Marseille, and they want 17 million quid. That seems a good deal to me, but it's whether it's almost like I can't remember who it was. It was on one of the channels where it's almost like I have this feeling that Moyes is almost scared to spend money on a position, and then he needs that money for another position later on. I mean, I was reading today that apparently the centre half and the forward positions are the two positions he's looking, not necessarily looking at the left back to bring in January. Who knows? Who knows? But that's what I've heard. Plus for me. Midnight, good night, people. God, take care, Pat. Hope you're well, my friend. I'm late. What's the scoop? Nada. I get worried when it gets this close to window, so we're glad to get anyone in. Yeah, I get that. But as I said, Moyes always has done, particularly his West Ham career, has done his transfer business late in the window. You look at Souček, you look at Bowen. They were on the day, weren't they? I think Vlasic was on the day. I think. Oh, I can't remember. I had it. I can't find it, but it was a stat someone put up very nicely. Thoughts on trying to go to Spurs? I would have liked to West Ham for the rest. Money was right. I'll be honest. I think he would have offered something very different than we haven't got. Could you imagine? When we looked at our bench against Man United, if you had Traore on there, throw him on, scare the shit out of what's his face, out of Maguire and stuff. Dali Ali, would you take him a loan deal? As a player, I would, but as a person, I wouldn't. That makes sense. But I had the same feeling with Jesse Lingard. I wasn't keen, and I ate my words. And I'm more than happy to have eaten my words, and I like being proved wrong. Maybe Moyes could do the same there, but who knows? Mandy says no. 17 round lads. Yeah, we can do that. Offers 3 minutes as he tried his hardest. Be glad when the window shuts. I'm freezing. It's a bit nippy, innit? I want to play Traore at win back, apparently, Mandy. Well, don't forget, and I've said this before, but Michail Antonio we signed at the same age as Traore, and he played the first, I think he's been here 7 years, something like that now. He must have played the first 4.5 years playing right back, right wing back. Really, maybe 3 years. So look where we are now. He's our top Premier League goal scorer of all time. Just shows you. Diok's confidence shot is not coming back under Moyes. Get rid as a replacement. Cover for less and Baptiste. But that's the way I'm thinking, Neil, to be honest. I'm thinking 1 out, 1 in, and that's it. In terms of the centre backs, and I think there's no doubt DCC's quality. He's quality. But whether he's quality in a Premier League perspective, that's always the question. But you'll always get that. But in the same way, if you're spending, this guy, to be honest, this guy's a finished article. Really, he's 25. He's pretty much a finished article, I'd say, in terms of his development. Someone like Nat Phillips, for example, he's 23, 24, isn't he? Isn't Nat Phillips 24? I've got, where is it? I had it. Where is it? Nat Phillips. Where's Nat Phillips? I'm just seeing loads of stuff at the moment about. But anyway, it must be Nat Phillips, 24 for 14 million. So this guy could be 17 million. Nat Phillips could 24. Arguably this guy is more experienced than Nat Phillips, and is obviously full Croatian international. He's played over 250 odd games, first team appearances, albeit not in the Premier League. Someone like Nat Phillips, for example, obviously he's played at Bolton. He's got injured he gets injured quite a bit. But there's progression there. So I don't think Nat Phillips is the finished article yet. There we go. Is it Moyes or Sullivan who wants those? I reckon it's Moyes, to be honest. Has seen the money wasted and simply wants the loan. Exactly, Ironclad. That's exactly what it is. And some clubs let you do that. Some clubs don't let you do that. Some clubs you might have to pay a higher loan fee and then that gets knocked off. It's like a part exchange, but a payment plan, so to speak. So 6 months for rather than $1 million, you pay 6 million, and then you only have to pay 9 million at the end of the term, so to speak. Where is Harry? Where we need some extra brown bags. That's why it's called a transfer window. Arsenal 2-1 to get Melo. I think that's pretty much nailed on. Mido's willing to come out with retirement. There we go. What is our annual transfer budget and how much do we use in the summer? Well, I know, James, that from looking at Kieran Maguire's, he did a video with Gio a while ago, which is really a fascinating video. I think I don't know what it is in terms of numbers, but in terms of percentages, I believe it's something like our wage bill is 67% of our annual turnover. As we're in Europe, UEFA have a suggestion, an FFP type suggestion of it being 70%. So we're very, very close to the water. So I can't. So you would imagine someone like Yarmolenko's on a lot of money, and so getting him off the wage bill. A lot of the Pellegrini flops. I imagine Haller was on a lot of wages. I imagine Anderson was a lot of wages, and so no one actually knows the actual figure, but that's what we've been told by them. So we'll see. What do you make of Notts wanting? Can't call them Notts Forest, Nottingham Forest. Victor, please. We'll get pelters. Nottingham Forest, and so Longelo. Well, the report I read said that he hadn't trained with the first team since after when he played in the Europa League. So who knows? Jesse 5-2 to go and a huge 70. I wouldn't put him. I don't think the Newcastle one. I could on loan maybe. Did anyone see the interview on the Hammers Chat with the guy? That's what I mean. The Kieran, yeah, check it out. Really interesting. Check it out on Hammers Chat. It's a really, really good interview. Will he gel with Zuma? I can see him gelling with Zuma. We need to lower our aging squad. Well, this guy's 25. You've got Zuma, he's 25, 26. You've got Ben Johnson potentially. He could be starting instead of Soufal. You've got obviously Declan Rice, Bowen. I think the squad age is coming down slowly. Get these deals done and bring them on. I don't think he can play in Europe because I think he's already played for Europe this year. I don't know how it works, but we still play him in Pie and Mash. Fair enough. Prefer that as he's familiar with the Premier League. I'm on the stream. Father Slam is on 2 streams at once. Unbelievable. The fact that Van der Beek's going Palace shows we could have easily gone and got him and Lingard. They don't see him they don't see Crystal Palace as, it's not about us, BRDC. It's about Man United's perception of us. They will not do us a deal. They will not deal with us on a loan basis. We will need to buy Lingard outright. And I guarantee they're asking something ridiculous. Would you want to spend, and the flip side is if we go, we'll go and get Lingard and we spend 20 million quid getting Lingard in. Could happen. I mean, Burnley have quoted us £30 million if we want to get Tarkowski in January, and he's a free transfer in July, same as Lingard. Then we go, we've overpaid, we've been done over here. It takes 2 to tango, and Man United aren't tangoing us on a temporary basis. They'll only tango with us if we buy him outright, where we can wait 6 months and get him on free. So I don't know. That's what I mean. 90% of Everton's wage. That's why I saw the whole thing with DCL could have happened, because they need to lower their wage bill. And I think we're second with 67. It's amazing how close we are to that with the Finn squad. But there's a lot of big money spent on people like Yarmolenko and stuff like that. Afternoon, Rich. Hope you're well. Hope you and Jake are well. Price Lingard out of them. I think they priced Newcastle by saying, wasn't it? Someone said it's like £1 million or something crazy like that. I think it will charge. I think Ralph said it was 20 million. I think 15, 20 million. So we'll see. Big change on Man U since last year, indeed. Just put a bid in for the Marseille team at this point. Get him. Maybe we'll get Marseille on a loan to buy. Maybe we will, Pierre. They ask us 12, 15 million, but end of the day, we want to push on, but aren't willing to pay the prices for the quality of players. We're sitting on the fence too much for a massive season. We are, Mitch. Yeah, I think we are, but I think we want to make sure we don't, I think we've had our feet burnt so often with spending money for money's sake. You look at it, and now people are going, I just want anyone. If we then got a flop, it's like the whole thing with Vlasic. And goes, 30 million, we overpaid £30 million. It was the end of the transfer window, and we were looking at him, and then basically they said, yeah, you want him, he's going to cost you 30 million. It's not Vlasic's fault, he cost £30 million. So I think it's we don't want to be pissing money out the wall because it's going to bite us in the back, bite us in the arse rather. We're just coming to the end of this sort of massive outlay with the Pellegrini. Pellegrini was 3 years ago. But we're still coming out of it because we've got a lot of players on those stupid wages as well. And it makes a massive difference because it means you can start offering players improved contracts and better wages. And it really, really does. But I mean, to put things in perspective, we've only had 6 top league finishes this ever in our career, in our West Ham history from sort of the early 1920s when we got promoted into the first league, so to speak. And obviously, this last season was one of those seasons. If we get another top 6 finish this year. It'll be the first time in our entire history we've done back-to-back top 6. So it's not all bad. I mean, even if you look at the top 8 finishes, we've done. Is that the first apart from 98, 99? I mean, if we finish 7th, it'd be the first time we finished top 7th in consecutive years, technically. So it's not all bad. It's not all bad. So anyway, it's just me. Still think Vlasic 40 million was a bad deal. That's what I mean, Patrick. So we paid that money because we wanted to get the player in, and then we get people get criticised for overspending. I don't think anyone really knows what we want, to be honest. I like him. I think he's still got legs. You don't want to spend 20 million, but put 100. You don't want to spend it, but put global. Come on. It's not necessarily. It's 20 million for someone who's got 6 months left in his contract, whereas Declan Rice is over £100 million player. You cannot deny the fact that he is. When Jack Grealish goes to 100 million and has been absolutely probably quite gash really for City, he hasn't been a very good. And I think if anything, Deck will look at that and say, well, he's not setting the league alight, is he? And he's £100 million player. So I think that's a fair estimation. Afternoon, Pete. Hope you're well, my friend. BRDC didn't make the final squad, I think, unless someone is injured and he's been called up. Yeah, no, I don't think he did make the final squad. He made the interim squad, but not the final squad, I believe. End of the day, put it this way: until he goes to 3 games, that leaves you no striker. Then you have to play 4 now. The Nyama starts. And that's the way it is at the moment, Mitch, isn't it? Should not 50% off. I think I was just going to get us spending on money and play and get on a free. That's what I'm saying. Lawrence. Let him go on loan to Newcastle. Keep him match fit. We sign him on a free. Obviously, it doesn't involve a player sign it, a player on fee in terms of 10 million quid or whatever for us. We'll be paying him, but actually, I don't know how much we're doing it, but there we go. And so yeah, that's what I think to happen. We're playing Russian roulette. Who's going to blink first? Indeed, global. If is worth 80. Oh yeah, exactly. Come on, Maguire's not worth 80 million. That's for sure. I think maybe like 17 million pounds, maybe. Yeah, I think so. But then again, that's the trouble. Is in hindsight, it's a great thing, isn't it? I think it's I feel sorry for Vlasic because he has a price tag on him, but he never said I'm a 30 million pound player. The club agreed to pay 30 million pounds for him. There has been glimpses, and until the last couple of games, he didn't play well the last game, in terms of the Leeds game, but last time he played. But there is, I've seen glimpses of him. But I think you're probably right. I think he's probably about £20 million. I mean, at the end of the day, that's like 15, 20 million. Not even 15, probably 18, 90 million. It's sort of standard for anyone who's sort of an international player of some pedigree. We only paid 18 for Vlasic. The rest of the money's on add-ons, and he achieves it. There we go, Mitch. I honestly think players like Vlasic can easily be converted to a striker. Yeah, he can be, I think. And I think that's why Moyes won't necessarily. I can easily see him getting another forwardy, Lingardy type player and having some bit more movement around. So it's not always Antonio as the option. Any new strikers need since yesterday, Russ? There's a few, as I said, there's not really strikers, but Bamba Dieng, there's a few others. We'll do a roundup on Thursday. That's probably the last roundup, I think, before we go on the transfer window, the final wing. 6 months left. I've just called to him. 27 million for Vlasic. There we go. I think Vlasic's moving on the summer. I don't think he will, but we'll see. I'll agree with you, Russ. Right, always put pressure on the price tag, which never get asked. It's what the club decide. And but not even that. It's what the selling club decide he's worth. Do you know what I mean? Go get Cabral for Fiorentina. I think that's a domino effect which is going to happen anyway. I think it's Dusan's going to go to Juventus. They're going to then loan him, and then Juventus are loaning out, going to sell Morata. Is he on loan? I think they're now selling him, and then Cabral is going to go to Fiorentina, I think, and probably bang him in. And I think they're 40 million euro. I think it is. Saul, we were linked to him. His contract runs out in the summer, so who knows? That'd be cool. Again, he's a man mountain. Bit like he's got more bulk than Caleta-Car for sure. Knowing Sullivan, we will end up buying a counterfeit at the boot sale. There we go. And Nesri scored last night. He did in 2-1 victory from Morocco. Still think something could happen with that. I still think so. With Martial going to Seville, that frees up that space. and he wants to leave. Who knows? Russ, who are your ideal signings for this? For me, I want to get. I don't really have an ideal. I would like DCC or Attila from Fenerbahce as a centre back option. And then I would like someone, and ideally I'd like someone like Nesri, because he just offers something completely different than what we've already got. But could it upset the apple cart? It would change the way we play sometimes, but maybe that's not a bad thing. That's what I'd want. Won't happen, but that's what I want. Is a done deal for them, apparently. There we go. I've got to leave, but I'll be watching the rest tonight. Have a good check. We're going to be finished anyway, mate. Thanks for joining us. Right, let's figure this one out. Okay, what we got here? We got no one. Very good. That's good. Very good, James. If we don't make it, it shows lack of ambition. Don't think so, Crosshammer. I think there's two. I mean, I'm a glass half full type of guy, For me, there's two ways you look at that. One is it could be no ambition, we're not signing anyone. The other is the people we want, people are seeing us as a threat and we can't get them. And then they know, and then we go to Europe, and Europe know that we can't get a Premier League player, so they're adding more money. And I think we will make signings. There will be signings in. I don't know how many, but there we go. I think we'll sign a forward. I just think we need a forward, a goal scorer. Comes with a price tag in it. So, I mean, I think we need a defender. I do think, to be honest, this season we share the goals around anyway. It'd be nice to get a forward. But I think for me, I'd rather get that defence sorted out. It's been leaking a lot of goals recently. That's how we got to the, Europa League last year. Solid defence, winning games 1-0, 2-0. Winning games ugly, really, but it's that defence. And that's like we've if we're already conceding 3 goals, we need to score 4 goals to win the game. So let's get that defence shored up. Let's get another a good Zuma-esque, whether it's DCC, Milenkovic, someone like that. Someone that good. Get that all tight. Get that tight, and then it frees up more opportunity for people to. But I think also there's an over reliance on Antonio as well. But I've always said that for a long time. He's quite big. But he's nippy. He's very nippy. I think he's about 6'2", Nesri. Would you prefer left side, or do you mind if we get? Well, I prefer a left-sided one. For example, Mr. DCC here, he plays on the left, but he's sort of more ambidextrous. He's not, although he favours his right a little bit more. He's, I'd prefer a left-sided one like Attila. Attila is left-footed, but that's very rare. I know Nat Phillips. I think Nat Phillips is left-sided as well, isn't he? I believe left-footed. So it's a very rare thing to have that type of player now. It seems, but I think we just need a strong centre back and to partner. I agree. Getting his difference to show things up. Yep, exactly. I like a striker who stays in the box. Doesn't really happen anymore now, does it? Nowadays in the league, we need to get someone alongside Antonio. Benno McCarthy, if the shirt's up, well, he's a coach. So you obviously don't know Steve. He's a coach in South Africa. Yeah, I think they won the cup last year, I believe. Get Brozier for 90 million. Well, apparently it's 25 is what is the figure. Apparently, so we'll see. Zuma and Fredericks and Cresswell all back. Yeah, they are. He's all practically, let's be honest, mate. I think he probably is Manny, to be fair. He's clearly waiting to get Mbappe in the summer. He's not stupid. No, exactly. I thought he might be a right back. He might be that. To be honest, Grant, he might be, but I don't really know, to be honest. So I just assumed, for example, but he might be. Anyway, be back in the day we were linked to Ake. That went quiet. It did. So that's the thing. Sometimes things go quiet. Like DCC went very quiet, and it's all blown up in the last couple of days, which sort of does lead a bit. Okay, why is this coming out of the woodwork again? Same as Aki. Aki will be lovely on a loan, probably. That could happen. I know AC Milan were looking at him as well, but and I don't think we have the issue with competition, because actually I think City don't see us as competition, which we're not compared to City. And I could see a loan deal happening maybe for that. Who knows? Great player though, would love him, but he's not even 40 million. Shane got promoted. We could have pinched Tony. Yeah, but he's been found out, hasn't he? Kicked the ground running, got found out. A bit like Ollie Watkins, and got found out a little bit, So because then people learn how to play against them. It's getting hard to get a lot of so-called targets. Some are AFCONs. Yeah, but the AFCON, but it's about the player. We can get things. Not necessarily, they don't have to get the paperwork. It's the paperwork by Monday, isn't it? So it's why players are now being linked. There we go. I would take Brozier any day, but nothing more than 35. Well, apparently 25 is what Southampton were going to be putting a bid in for. And then the next article from a different newspaper said they're not putting a bid in, so we don't know. Anyway, guys, I'm going to have to shoot. As I said, tonight we have got the main man. We've got Governor B coming on, talking. We'll talk a bit about Isla, obviously, but we'll talk about, obviously the single, and we'll talk about his why he's a West Ham fan, putting his 11 together. Top bloke he is. He's a lovely guy, speaks very well. Obviously, he's on Sky Sports and stuff like that. So, a bit of a coup for us to get Governor in. So that'd be nice. So we'll talk to him tonight. If you're new, Randy, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe. Obviously, we've got some lovely guests coming up, particularly on Monday, with our long transfer window stream or whatever that is. So make sure you hit the bell icon so you don't miss any time we put new content on. And yeah, maybe you'd like to like. There we go. Mandy said it. And maybe you want to become a member. We've got over 50 channel members on the channel, and I'd like to thank them all personally at the end of each one of my shows. So take care, everyone. Stay safe. Wash those hands. Get those jabs. Get those boosters. Come on, you irons. See you tonight for the Governor. And peace out. Peace out. What am I saying? Anyway, take care. See you later. Bye bye.
It's like a family tree.